What was your reaction when Cult of Personality, CM Punk's theme song hit the other night?
I get like everybody else. I get happy, thrilled, like holy cow. Well, and again, I don't know. I got asked, I don't know, a couple months ago. Again, well, if you had the chance to use them, would you? And I was like, yeah, who wouldn't? So I understand. I don't know. I understand business, and I also look. I've understood. Wasn't always the most popular guy to people, but I was really good at my job. And I feel like that's one of the reasons I've had one here in the WWE for almost 40 years. Because again, I'm dependable and I'm good at my job. And I think if you are that, there's always an opportunity here, especially if you want one. And so, look, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the company. I'm happy for the WWE fan base. The WWE universe. Stories like this are always fantastic, even if they're controversial. That's part of what makes them fantastic. And so, look, there are times I don't always know what's going on. And truth be told, I don't think sometimes they know what's going on. But that's what makes it what unpredictability is, just that, unpredictable. But that's what makes this job so fantastic and so unique. Unlike anything else, and that's why we've continued to thrive for 40 plus years as well.
One of the things that I was so excited about, and I'd expressed sort of mixed feelings. I was of the camp, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I was that guy. One of the things I loved about this, though, was the level of surprise, Shawn. That's one thing I think we've been missing there in this era of sports entertainment. There's a lot of promoting of when things are going to come, and I understand it. But when you get hit with a true, genuine, I mean, Shawn, I was there all day. No one even mentioned him. It was not on the radar in a real way. It was, so even for the boys, it was such a shock, it seemed, for everyone. Shawn, that to me, as an outsider, I'm curious to you as an insider what you think. That's to me what makes a moment extra special, when nobody has a clue that music's hitting.
Absolutely. And again, you could, in this job, everybody can bat 500. You know what I mean? I think he is. I think he isn't. You know what I mean? But it is because it's so hard to keep anything. Everybody. I mean, heck, everybody lets you know if they're going to the store. You know what I mean?
In this era,
got eggs today. Go to the store to get some bacon. Like, that's awesome, great. I'm gonna go rob your house now that I know that you're gone.
Exactly.
But so it really is. But that's the power of being able to do that, and that is what also makes it special. But there's that's a perfect storm analogy, and that can only happen with certain people at the same time. You know what I mean? And that is that's where, again, everybody knows it's so cliche now, but that's where the words "never say never" always came out in the first place, because in this line of work, what makes it so fantastic, you're never 100% sure. Even if you think you are, you're just not being honest. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You're just on the face saying, I know this is going to happen, but there's always a little piece in you going like, I don't know. And again, to your point, I think everybody thought this was a bridge too far.
That's what it felt like for me. And I'm like, I know that everyone makes up, but I thought this one, he'd already been there. I just didn't see it. And that's what made it such a great shock in that way, is that I was like, no way. Really? I mean, I was with Booker. We both looked at each other like, no way. This is happening.
And right? I mean, and to pull that off in this day and age, pretty special.
That to me is what makes it so cool. And as Booker always says, if there's money to be made and there's someone who can do business, you do it. And I think sometimes the vitriol for Punk backstage is an overstated story people like to tell. I think he has his share of people that he doesn't have a great relationship with. I think way more, though, are going to be happy to see him. What's it like, though, Shawn? You've had those days where you had your people, quite literally the clique, who have your back, and then you have some more people who aren't happy to see you, and then others who are indifferent. What is that feeling like? You're walking in with your suitcase, heading down the ramp into the building. when you know kind of every corner you turn might be a mixed reaction in the eyes?
Yeah, well, early on, it's uncomfortable. But again, but I think after a while, you get used to it. Look, everybody would prefer to be liked, but if you're somebody, second guessing is always going to go on this line of work. It is impossible to please 100% of the people 100% of the time. And look, you know as well as I do, in any line of work and in any walk of life, everybody can say, I really like this guy and I get along with him. And they're talking about him 2 minutes later anyway. And that goes for everybody, even the most liked individuals. And so I don't know. I think he's been doing this for a long time. Again, I guess I always say, like, I don't know. I always liked Phil, and I don't know. And I always understood heaven forbid you have a different opinion. I don't know. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. And so it doesn't matter whose it is. And like I said, but I can understand, because at one time it did, and I didn't have the maturity to, respect and accept other one's opinions, even if they didn't agree with mine. And so I think we all come to that in time. And so I think at one point it might have bothered him. I would imagine, he's accepted it as a reality, and is good with that.